Hey guys, how are you doing today? I want to show you guys this beautiful, beautiful plant. This is my beautiful Staghorn fern. A friend of mine, Chris, from over at Chris's Garden Pile, she sent this plant to me last year. She has some beautiful staghorns, and every time she'd show a video or send me pictures, I just really was admiring it. I've had many of these through the years, and I've managed to always kill them. So, it was kind of a love-hate relationship. I absolutely love them. You can see how long these fronds have gotten and how the leaves just spread out. It's absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous plant. And then what they do is, you see this one here. Let me turn it. This one here has made a baby. See her down here? She's got her own little shield. This is called a shield. This is something that the plant makes. It feeds the plant. You don't ever want to peel these off or remove them, because these actually feed back into the plant. It's really the only nourishment that they need. They grow on trees, so they get their nourishment from, let's say, animals going to the bathroom on them, fallen leaves. There are a few tips and tricks that you can do as far as, like, I've heard old banana peels, you can lay them like inside of the plant and let it just kind of decay. I've tried that, but anyways, you can see this one is a baby, and you can see all of her new little beautiful white silvery fronds coming out here. So this is another plant. I actually have two of these plants that she sent me. This is the well, no, that's a baby. I think maybe this is the first mother plant. I don't know. There's actually two. She sent me two. And this is a baby. And that's a baby. She's got lots of babies. Anyways, I don't know which is which anymore. I can't really, and I don't want to move it around too much because I don't want to break her. I would be absolutely heartbroken. This is one of my all-time absolute favorite plants. So I am not going to mess around with her. Now I've just got her sitting, I had her hanging up. I took her down so I could water her, and then I just left her out. I stuck a bowl inside of another big pot, and I just kind of have her sitting in it right now. She's going to be going out on my front porch again this year, and it is a northeast corner, and she absolutely loved growing there. But what I want to do with her today, God, this is gorgeous. Look at this new, and this is why I want to put her into a bigger basket and get her up higher. She's got a new baby, again, right here, and it's coming off to the side. It's just so cool how they grow. I absolutely love them. And as far as bug issues, I've never had any bug issues on this plant. This has a really soft, I don't know if you guys can really tell. Let me zoom in. I need to put my glasses on. Okay, I don't really know if you guys can see this, but it has a really, really fuzzy texture. Look how fuzzy that is. And if you keep rubbing it, it will come off. Now you don't want to do that. See what I did to mine right here? See how fuzzy this is? But it's absolutely gorgeous. And I'm going to turn her again. Maybe you can see this leaf. How it just has this fuzzy little... And I'm assuming that is so that it can grab dew, moisture, anything out of the air to help feed this plant. But what I want to do is I'm going to put her into a bigger basket. It's going to be the biggest basket that she ever gets in for me. I have to be careful how much I'm hanging from my plant hangers. But anyhow, look at the bottom. The bottoms of these are really fuzzy too. But anyways, absolutely gorgeous. I am going to get her new basket. We're going to get that prepped, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to lift her up. I've got her in a cocoa coir basket with some soil underneath, or I mean above the basket. But I am just going to lift her up, set her down on the floor. I'm going to get my new basket out, and then we'll just lift her right up and put her into the new bigger basket. Okay, here's the bigger basket that she's going into. This is some old cocoa coir liner. I'm just going to cut it out. It's really easy to secure the liner in these baskets. And this one even had a little bit of plastic under it. I don't know whether I did it or it come like, I think it come like that because look, it's inside like a double layer. But I will save this. To me, this is still good. There's nothing wrong with it. I'll make mouse pulls out of it or use it somehow, because it's not only the bottom has rotted out, I guess you could say. Oh, my camera fell. So I'm going to save those because I save everything. But okay, I had to go unload my camera. My memory card was filled up. But what I want to do is, I think where I left off was these plants grow in trees. They're epiphytes, so they don't have roots that like go down into the soil and grow and feed the plant. The only roots they get are roots that kind of hook onto trees, and they're just more of a grabbing root. What feeds the plant is the leaves feed the plant, so you can foliar feed this plant. I usually spray a little bit of fish fertilizer on her, and I even pour a little bit down into the soil when I'm, when I water her. I will put a little bit in there just because I know it gets on the plant itself and it will get down, yes, into the soil. But I want to get this up really high, and I'm using a lot of perlite. Since this plant does not feed from its roots, I went shopping yesterday and I was trying to find some orchid bark. I went to 2 different stores and nobody had orchid bark. They were all out or whatever. But what I want to do is, I want to get this up, I think I said about 6 inches high. So we're going to test that. I'm going to put more perlite in, because I don't want this to hold. I'm just going to dump this into my soil, or I mean my potting tray. But this is just more or less to, I know a lot of people mount their, I almost said Hoyas. I know a lot of people mount their Staghorns, but I don't like growing mine that way. I get way too dry in the house in the wintertime. And when I've had them before, they were mounted, and all I got done doing was soaking them. So what I'm going to do is lift her up, and then I want to pull this whole cocoa liner and her out of this old basket. There, I didn't think I had it hooked. See how much of a smaller basket this one that she was in compared to the one I want to put her in. Now you can see, now I'm leaving all of this cocoa coir in here. She likes it. I like it. I think she's up high enough. And I have her centered pretty darn good. So what I'm going to do now is I need to grab my bag of perlite. I want to put a layer of perlite around since I don't have my bark, which is no big deal. I just want the soil to be nice and airy and drain quickly so that she's not getting overly watered, especially in the summertime while she's hanging out on the front porch. Now, I know most people would separate all these babies in here. I don't want to do that. I want a nice, big, full, beautiful plant. I do not like tearing my plants apart, but I'm going to get my perlite. I have a little bit left in the cup, and all I'm going to do is go around. I'm going to make another layer of perlite in between her existing cocoa coir liner and the new one, and then I'll put the rest around with soil. Let me grab my perlite. It's all the way on the other side of the room. So I'm just going to lift her up gently because I don't want to break her. Put this nice layer of perlite in, and then I'm going to start filling with soil. And it looks like I might have to get some more soil also. But I lifted her up quite a bit. I just knocked something off my table. I don't know what it was. Probably my garden pen. I'm going to lift her up just a little bit more. I'll put some more soil in over here. She loves this cocoa coir. It keeps her nice and airy, and it's easy to take care of. It holds water longer than trying to put it on a bark or a piece of wood for me. And she's growing very, very good for me like this, so if it ain't broke, don't fix it type of thing for me. So I am happy with this girl. Oh, she keeps wanting to tip. So I'm just gonna keep filling in, and then I'm pressing down as I go. You can see the inside of her. She's got a Rhipsalis, a piece of Rhipsalis in there. I'm going to leave it in there. That would be cool if it started growing with her. Every plant needs a buddy. I like my plants mixed together. Looks like I also have I can't think of what I'm trying to say here, but you know, this stuff, I can't think of what I'm trying to say. I'm just going to tuck that back down in the pot. It's not going to hurt a dang thing for this plant. It's all organic. So now what I'm going to do is pulling off some of these dead frond leaves from when she was younger. See, that was stuff I couldn't see. It looks like I got some spag moss on the top of here too. Let's check around the rest of the plant while she's nice and out here where I can see her good. this plant is pretty easy to take care of it, as long as you don't give her too much light. I need a little more soil right here. Burlap. That's what I was trying to say. I have burlap in here. Couldn't think of it. Couldn't think of it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I think I got her soil level about where I want it. So now I'm going to take these old pieces of cocoa coir that I have that I've used for different things, moss poles and stuff like that that I've cut up, and I'm going to tuck it all around the top edges of this pot. I'm just going to kind of tear it apart, tuck it around, because that was how I had her potted the last time. And it was good. She liked it. She's growing. So I'm just going to keep doing the exact same thing. That, and it looks pretty. It kind of covers up the soil, and then I don't have it splashing all over, especially when I take her in and put her in my bathtub and give her a big shower. That, and I think it looks pretty. It kind of dresses up, you know, and you don't have to see soil. See, there's the inside of her. Can you guys see? I don't want to lift it up too much. I don't want to break my plant. I would cry if I break my plant. I've never had as much luck with this plant as I have with this one, so I baby her a lot. She's up and out of the way of my dog's tail. When my grandson comes over, I'm like really paranoid about, no, get away from that plant since it's been sitting on the floor. Do not touch it, because I don't want it to get knocked over and get broken. So when I go to hang her back up, she is all done. She's looking gorgeous. Let me set her back up. So there she is. I got her back in the pot. I've got her in a big pot, and then I've got a smaller pot sitting in here just so the butt of the plant sits nicely in it. Even in this big basket, I thought I might have to put a bigger pot inside this one, or actually I could probably sit this whole new basket down in now, since it's a bigger basket. Let's see, just for security, for in my house sitting on the floor. Yeah, she looks nice, but I do like her up higher, but I'll mess with that later, because I'm going to take her in. I'm going to shower her all off really nicely, get some of the house dust off of her, get her new pot all watered back in nicely, and I will put her back out in my living room, and then I will show you where I have been keeping her since I took her down out of my hanging from out of my window. She grew, and this is another tip that might be helpful for you guys if you have issues with this plant like I have over the years. I grew her all winter long. She was in my south window. No shears up, no nothing. And she had a little bit of indirect grow light. It's a full spectrum Vivo Sun grow light that she was getting, you know, a little bit of indirect light from also. And she has just done absolutely beautifully for me. So I think very, very highlight in the winter to keep her strong and happy, because she grew over the summer while I had her outside, but the majority of this growing, of her growth, has been this winter. And I don't know if that was the mistake I was making with mine before. Plus I had mine mounted on boards, which just did not work for me at all. They were getting way too dried out way too quickly. I wasn't able to keep up with it. and the plant would just shrivel away and do nothing. It would get kind of stuck, but eventually it would just die. So I'm gonna go shower her off, get her in place, and I'll show you guys where I am keeping her now until she moves outside here before too much longer, probably a couple, 2-3 weeks out on my front porch.